When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast that's strong enough for a top, but made for bottoms.
Oh, don't you use dial? Don't you wish everyone else did? I don't know. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. What?
We're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today, pH, strong enough for a man, pH balanced for a woman is, I think, what I couldn't get my brain to do.
I don't think that was the tagline. I think it was, but made for women.
Strong enough for a man, pH balanced for a woman. And then somehow my brain said that was deodorant, but it was soap. So then dial came in. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I think it was for a deodorant.
It was for deodorant.
Yeah. Mike, stop Googling it. This is not important.
I need to know.
No, you don't. You literally don't need to know.
Okay, fine. What are we doing? We're here.
We're recording.
We're podcasting.
We're doing it so good. Hey, everyone. Next month, it's a few days away. Next month is Losers Month. It is the month that we are doing all the topics that didn't win the Patreon vote. Every month, we put up a Patreon post that allows you all to vote on which topic we cover. And that means there's a lot of topics they all don't vote on. And those are all the losers. We gathered up all the losers of recent memory and put them in a poll. By we, I mean Derek did. The royal.
Well, we had more losers than the one that we selected. So technically, there are losers of the losers.
Yes,
so.
We picked from the losers. Mike and I each picked 5 that we liked and put them on a list. And you can go vote on those losers to decide which episode topics we cover next month. Next month, every single episode is going to be one of the losers that y'all voted on for us to cover. So go to facebook.com/groups/gayish podcast to see where the post is, to get the link to vote on the Losers Month.
Get in, losers. We're losering.
You have until, if you're listening to this when the main episode comes out, you have until tomorrow. You have until Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, in order to vote. So get your votes in.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, while we're talking about voting, though, the 3rd annual Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Award voting is going to start this week. It's live now, so just check out Gayish on Facebook is probably the easiest place to find it, but we'll post it all over the place and vote for this year's nominees. It's exciting.
Yeah, some fine selections, some big assholery went on this past year. So lots of horrible people to vote on.
Yeah, do it. Okay, Kyle, we have 100 words.
Yeah. At
a certain level of Patreon, if you send in 100 words, I will read them. It's also known as the Use Mike's Hole benefit. Mm-hmm. And we have 100 words this week. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm. What?
Decisions, Kyle. Here we go.
Okay.
I, a Canadian of sound mind and judgment, gayish supporter, user of Mike's Hole, hereby nominate Danielle Smith for the Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Award for using the notwithstanding, and that's one word, not 3, Kyle, don't be mean to Mike, clause to circumvent the courts and knowingly violate the rights of Albertans with her latest attack on our trans family, including forcing teachers to out students to their parents if they change their names or pronouns, comparing puberty blockers to the castration of bulls, and protections, in quotes, about females in sports. She and her government are a stain on my country, and she deserves this award for all the terrible things she has done. That's from Tim Bosma.
And you didn't read the intro or the conclusion.
I'm turning over a new leaf, Kyle.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to read the parentheses. I think those might have counted against the not counted against the 100 words.
I know, but That was my hole's discretion.
That's true. That's true. I will give you a tiny bit of leeway. I'll give you 10 words of leeway in either direction. So you can leave out 10 words if you really want to. Thank you, Tim. Will we put her on the list? Just submitting 100 words and making Mike read them doesn't do anything. But
she sounds pretty terrible. Let's nominate her.
Okay. She is officially nominated then.
She has been officially nominated and will be on the ballot.
Yeah, nice.
So when you're ready to vote, she will be an option.
Yep. You have two things you have to vote on. And that's Losers Month and Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Awards.
Yeah. And was she already on the list? She was not already on the list. I had to check that. So yes, but she is now.
Okay, great.
And
now the news.
You know the news.
Shut your mouth hole, it's time for your ear holes. News, news, news.
News the first, Kyle.
Yeah.
This really isn't that noteworthy, but I loved the first sentence so much that I had to bring it.
Okay.
This is how The Advocate started this story. Academy Award-winning actor Nicole Kidman's ex-husband, Australian country singer Keith Urban, is igniting controversy for a strange song choice while performing for Donald Trump and billionaires at Mar-a-Lago. There's a video on Instagram in which, in an acoustic set at a private party hosted by billionaire Anthony Pratt at Mar-a-Lago, he sings a cover of lesbian singer Chappell Roan's gay bar-themed hit Pink Pony Club.
What?
Yeah.
That's our song. That's the left song. That's Gay's song. That's not for you. That's not for them to have. There, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be a Republican, there are some things you have to give up, and you're not allowed to have Chappell Roan.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with you. I agree with that. I don't know, like, what did he think he was doing? Because I don't think of him as a bad person. Maybe he is a bad person.
I mean, given him performing there, that makes me think he might be a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope he got paid a whole bunch.
Yeah.
The video was originally posted by the Instagram user Tally.Florida, who attended the party. And he is singing in front of a graphic of the American flag. President Trump was at that party. Unclear whether he was in the audience at the time that song was being performed or not, but it is likely. Yeah, it's just don't. It's our song.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
They don't deserve it.
No, they don't. You're not allowed to have fun when you're a Republican. That's what you give up. You get less taxes and you don't get some fun things.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuckers.
Yeah. Assholes.
News the second. I'm nervous, Kyle. You didn't like my last faggot fitness story, so you might not like this one either. I don't know.
Okay.
But there is a meme going around that is Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of Defense /War, trying and failing to do 50 pull-ups, and he looks real tired doing it, which 50 pull-ups is a lot.
I can't do 50 pull-ups.
Not very many people can do more than 3. So,
yeah.
But the video is going around making fun of his horrific form toward the end of the video.
Why would he post that? Why wouldn't he get his video person there, his social media person there, start recording, and when he couldn't do it, stop posting it? Like, why is it posted?
Well, it was shared by former Marine Ron Filipkowski.
Sure.
And he's visibly struggling and kicking his feet, and it's to make fun of Pete Hegseth. The comment, the caption is, quote, "The Pete Hegseth pull-up is a bit different than the ones we did at Paris Island. Maybe it's an army thing," because he's a Marine. And people are just juxtaposing that with his, like, only real men belong in the military or whatever. And just like, I think it's interesting. The part that I'm even more interested in, though, is environmentalist drag queen Patty Gonya posted a clip of her doing 50 pull-ups to make fun of him. Quote, "Hi, Pete Hegseth, Patagonia here. While you're busy trying to take away the rights of queer people, I'm over here advocating for the rights of all people, including my right to do better pull-ups than you, all with my balls tucked inside of me."
Is she in full drag while she's doing it?
She's got a fierce wig on and a mug. She also has a mustache with which... I don't know. Like, I understand there's all kinds of drag, but just like drag with full on mustaches doesn't work for me usually. But
Honey Bouquet, sorry about it.
Well, you trying to start something?
Yeah,
Kyle?
You started it. I just reiterated what you already said.
Okay. Well, quote, "My name is Patagonia, and I challenge Pete Hegseth to a pull-up competition. I'll win, and I'll do it tucked."
I just think that I don't like the reinforcing idea that like gays are all like buff, and then that makes those of us that aren't like jacked hot gays, insta gays, feel like we're a shitty kind of gay.
Sure.
And that's what I feel like happens sometimes with these fitness stories.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with you. I get that. And there is something similar we've talked about before of like, is calling straight dudes gay because it pisses them off okay or not? Like,
yeah.
If what you're trying to do is subversive humor, if you're trying to get under someone's skin, then you have to do it based on what will piss them off, not what will piss off other people. And so if having a drag queen do more pull-ups than you is humiliating to Pete Hegseth, who I believe is a person who needs to be humiliated, then I'm for this. It's not like she's picking on a random straight person.
Yeah.
But I also understand where you're coming from. News the last, Kyle.
Yeah.
Donald Trump didn't blow Bill Clinton, right?
One of my coworkers sent me this. She was like, "Wait, you don't know about Donald Trump being gay?" And I was like, "No." So she sent me an article. I think it was The Advocate, but yeah, blowing bubbles.
Yeah. No,
sorry. Bubble.
Yep.
Bubble.
So a bunch of emails were released from the estate of late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, and it includes one in which Jeffrey Epstein and his brother, Mark, wrote that because Jeffrey Epstein had said he was with former Trump advisor Steve Bannon, he should ask Bannon, quote, "ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba." Now, Bubba was a nickname for former President Bill Clinton, but it doesn't clarify who Mark Epstein meant, and the context remains unclear. And the idea that, like, I mean, first, Bubba is a male name, and saying that Trump is blowing Bubba implies that Trump is performing oral sex on a man with a penis in his mouth. But who knows what that phrase could mean? But it almost certainly doesn't mean Bill Clinton.
I mean, or it was a joke between them. Like it could mean Bill Clinton, but it could have been like a joke, a reoccurring joke that Trump blew Bill Clinton. Like these are straight dudes joking about like their friends doing oral sex on someone. Like I just don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And of course this was going to happen. Like things sailing out that are like the weird one-offs like this sort of distracts from the entire thing in a way, right? Like, sure,
is there a bigger story going on here?
Well, I mean, just the bigger story here is that after a months-long standoff in Congress about the release of these files and a bill that would force or compel the Department of Justice to release the files, by the way, something that Donald Trump could just do without Congress authorizing it or forcing the issue. Then all of a sudden, Congress, the House of Representatives passes it by like a margin, and then the Senate unanimously consents, and then Trump is like, yeah, I'll sign it. What the fuck happened? Because like under those circumstances, that dramatic reversal says something, and I don't know what it says.
Like, do you think they destroyed some of the evidence so that they're comfortable releasing it?
It could be that. It could be things are going to be redacted so much that there's no way to figure out what parts are who in each of the scenarios. It is just, I tell you what, it's not. And it's not like the smoking gun of Donald Trump as a pedophile, and he just signed the bill that releases that information in plain English to the world.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't know what to believe. And it just, it's gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the news.
That's the news. Speaking of things that aren't gross, that are gross, I wanted to let everyone know there are no new Patreon members. So that's pretty gross.
It's Christmas, you fuckers.
It's not Christmas. But if you want to support the show, if you want to use Mike's Hole, if you want to get ad-free episodes a day early, if you want to get bonus segments and bonus episodes, this month's is going to be something good.
Yeah.
Farts. We did farts for our bonus episode. It hasn't been released yet, but it'll come out this Monday.
Everybody farts. Everybody should want to hear that episode.
Exactly. If you fart, join and listen to that episode.
Pay us money or you'll never fart again.
That's a threat. Support us by going to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Do it.
All right. Do you want to talk about power bottoms?
Let's talk about power bottoms, Kyle.
This was a survey request. So in addition to me suggesting it, that's also one of the sources of this topic.
Yeah.
And we've covered bottoms. But I think we haven't gotten into the specifics of power bottoms.
Yeah, there's a lot more inside that hole, Kyle.
Yep.
We're gonna dig in there.
Yep. Yeah.
First of all, we didn't talk about when we would talk about this in the production meeting. Have you ever played Power Bottom? Like, I don't think that's your persona, but that doesn't mean that you haven't.
I've had a recent experience I had was a guy. A couple guys have done this, like blindfolded themselves and gotten in the bed and have it be dark. And then it was like, they just laid there. And I think that's kind of the role of Power Bottom because I was in charge.
That's hot. Yeah.
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 One of them, his boyfriend set it up. So like the dude that I went over to his place, like he didn't even know who I was.
Wow. Kyle.
Yeah.
Anonymous Power Bottom.
Yeah. But yeah, it was hot. That's not my typical role that I play. And I don't think it's because I'm like, and I also play the role of like really submissive, but a lot of times I have like regular vanilla sex and it feels like there's an equal concentration of power between the two of us of like, we've shared what we wanted to do on Sniffies. We kind of know what each other's into. And then we just kind of do those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
What about you?
Oh, I mean, almost never. Like, sure, there's some like, I don't know, fuck me harder and then slap him like action that happens sometimes. But like I don't think that's not my gig.
I can't picture you slapping someone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll slap you, bitch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Kyle, we just spent the whole weekend together. So
I know. And there's more to talk about still, I suppose.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about the history of power bottoms, Kyle.
Sure. It started with Alexander the Great.
Well, he is not on my list, but I am going to talk about powerful bottoms from history in the Patreon segment. So we will get to the Alexander the Great
maybe
of the world in the Patreon segment. But I mostly wanted to talk about the etymology here because there's going to be another segment that digs into it even more. But the according to board certified sexologist Joe Court, Dr. Joe Court,
who we've had on the show.
Bitch.
Yeah.
He has an article in a couple of places, but Harvard Lampoon magazine talks about the fact that Dr. Joe Court says that the term originated in the gay male community sometime in the what decade, Kyle?
80s.
90s.
Oh.
Very close. I think that counts. Give yourself a point, Kyle.
Okay, done.
Now, it did not... the earliest verifiable print reference comes from 2003, Stephen Gregory Underwood's academic book, Gay Men and Anal Eroticism, Tops, Bottoms, and Versatiles. There's a book that we need for the library, I think. It features an interview subject who describes himself as a power bottom, who posts personal ads saying, "Shut up and lie down, I'll take care of the rest."
Hot.
But the quote really captures the term's essence, right? Like it's inverting the traditional assumption about passivity, and being the receptive partner. But that's the first verifiable time that it appears in print, which feels really late to me.
I don't know, like the 2000s is when we get like internet culture and people like starting to like coin new terms and more online discussions about things. I think it makes sense that 2000s.
I would have thought like you said the 80s, and I think that would be my answer also if I didn't have the real answers in front of me. Yeah. It just feels like an older term, but I'm with you. I agree that like there's a lot of shit that happens in the early 2000s that the internet changes a lot about the way that information is transmitted between humans and culture is created, and that certainly applies here. August 19th of 2005 is the first time we see it in the internet in digital form. It is the first time that Urban Dictionary shows power bottom. There's a user named Tucker who defined it as the rather tame, quote, dominant male in a homosexual relationship who prefers being on the receiving end.
Oh, that's pretty like dictionary definition kind of thing.
Can you imagine if Urban Dictionary wasn't Urban Dictionary and it was just dictionary?
It wasn't so like dude like centric, like bro centric.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now I have another segment later about power bottoms in media, but a lot of people say that the breakthrough of the term, the like inflection point where it entered common mainstream parlance, was the October 4th, 2007 episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The episode was called The Gang Sells Out, and I'll talk more about the specifics of that episode again in a couple of segments. But in standard It's Always Sunny style, they have a whole thing, a discussion amongst them, all being awful people, and the definition of a power bottom comes up in the dialogue there.
Great.
So I do want to talk more about the words and what they mean and how they evolved, and really talk about like the role top and bottom and how all of that happened. I'm sure I covered a lot of it in the bottoms episode already, but some of it is worth repeating. But I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll volley it back to you, and I'll do that after you talk about what you're going to talk about.
Okay. You know what bugs me about power bottoms?
Whether they're AC or DC, I don't know what. My electrician nerds really liked that one.
I mean, okay, sure. Oh, you get credit for that. You get partial credit. I think it's one of those terms that straight people like. I can imagine a late night TV show host throwing out the phrase power bottoms in a joke to uproarious laughter. And it's just because they know a gay word. I think they get the benefit of getting to throw out some gay words, and because they're funny gay words, they get points for it. and we don't get the same. We are not afforded the same luxury. If Bob the drag queen goes up on stage and jokes about a power bottom, like there's got to be something more to the joke than the word power bottom, the phrase power bottom. Right. So I feel like that's an annoying thing that like, and that happens with a lot of words as straight people, like once straight people learned about tops and bottoms, they just threw out like, oh, Donald Trump must be a bottom. And like, that was hilarious to people because like they learned what a bottom was recently. Yeah. And so power bottoms, I think gets the same treatment and it bugs me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I feel like Twink does too. It's like very much in the same space to me.
Yeah. 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 So I'm going to tell you about this Grindr article that talked about power bottoms. It said, quote, a power bottom is so much more than... Okay, Mike.
Do you read Grindr just for the articles?
So, well, in preparation for this, yes.
Okay, great.
Although like DL_mask did respond to me, and I'm waiting to hear if he responds back again.
Okay. If is he human?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's human, but I just want to get to know him.
Yeah.
I want to get to know his penis. Anyway, this Grindr article said a power bottom is so much more than just a sexual role. It's a state of mind and an art form all rolled into one. Okay,
disagree, but whatever. Live your truth.
Their definition is a dominant person who prefers to be on the receiving end of anal sex, which I think is pretty close to what Urban Dictionary said, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay, so we got the definition down. They said that to be a power bottom, you need a can-do attitude and a hunger for cock that you won't take lying down.
You're not allowed to lie down?
I don't think so, because you got to be on top riding.
Disagree, but okay.
If you're lying down, you can't. You can put. Yeah, if you're because like doggy, you're not lying down. You're on all fours. If you're lying down, like on your stomach or on your back, I don't think you get to do. You're not the one in control.
I did not do one of the segments that I was sort of developing. I'm gonna almost do it now, which is sex toys for power bottoms, and I found this whole thing about a power bottom who had a technique for using a sling where he would get in the sling, but sort of prop himself up in the sling, find a top, and then wrap a rope or towel or cloth around the top's waist so that he could pull himself using those ropes, pull the dick into him or pull himself into the dick.
Wow.
And that was one way for the power bottom to be both laying down and totally in control.
I would say you're probably not laying down asterisk unless you're like a really advanced power bottom with slings and towels and toys. I would say most often, maybe. How about that? You're not lying down.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
I mean, probably not. It is.
Why not? Do you think power bottoms are often lying down?
This is really like is power bottom a state of mind, or is it part of the physicality of what's happening?
It's a good question. As much as I'm rolling my eyes and heavy sighing at you, like
me being me is annoying for you. Great.
Sometimes you're annoying to be friends with, and I think you know that.
Yeah, I think it's part of the charm, really.
Okay, let's talk about that later. So like, can you be laying down and them like, can you verbally direct the top and be like lay on your back and be like, okay, now fuck me like this. No, now do it harder. Okay, now really give it to me. Like, is that okay in the power and you're still a power bottom?
My magic 8-ball says ask again, but upon second asking it's probably, yeah. I think that it is far more about attitude than it is about act.
See, I think I just could see other positions being more conducive to a power bottom life.
Sure. Okay. I'm with you.
That's not a never. That's not a never on your back situation, but I think there are just others that are more in line with the power bottom mentality.
Okay.
Anyway, so the other steps that they suggest if you want to be a power bottom is first practice with toys, which I think that's good advice for any bottom, not just a power bottom. I think getting used to stuff in your butt, especially smaller butt plugs to start out with, and like lube and how it feels and the pressure and increasing in size with, graduated butt plugs. I think that's a smart move for anyone who's new to bottoming.
Patience and go slow and listen to your body and
up,
it's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be comfortable, but it's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah. It'll get comfortable after a little bit. Just hang in there. It'll get real comfortable. The second piece of advice they had was hit the gym, which I got annoyed at that one. Kind of see our discussion about all gays are supposed to be fit. They said, quote, from the tempo to the depth of penetration, you're running the show, which takes strength and stamina.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Which, I mean, that could be advice for anyone having sex. Like, I'm not like fit, but I could be fine taking on the role of power bottom, and I don't have to like be jacked. I think trying to like limit and typecast power bottoms to just like super muscly bottom guys is annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then number 3, don't take no shit. Which I like that advice. I don't know why that's on the list, but
is there any explanation or is it just that?
I didn't write down any. That's not to say that there wasn't any in the article, but none that I found interesting enough to quote.
Great.
And now let's talk about some of the myths. The first myth they had is that power bottoms are submissive. And in fact, what?
Go ahead.
You just did a real deep sigh from the depth of your body.
I just got done making the argument that I think that it's much more about attitude than it is about act. And I think that the power that I associate with power bottom is indeed dominant, which is the opposite of submissive. I think you can't be submissive and be a power bottom, but now they're disagreeing with me. So whatever you say next better be fucking good, Kyle.
No, you're on the same page. This is a myth. Power bottoms are submissive. That's a myth.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
Wow, you got so annoyed for no reason. I'm going to annoy you more just for no reason at all. That was fun. Okay. This is, I think we're going to talk more about this later, but I think this misconception comes from the idea that just the word bottom, it doesn't matter what adjective. Yeah, you're right. Power bottom is quite literally the opposite of submissive. And I think it's the assumption that just because bottom's in there, you must be submissive, you're passive, you're weak. I think all of these stereotypes and assumptions come along with the word bottom, regardless of what adjective you put to describe it.
Yep.
Another myth, so this is not what they believe, Michael. Another myth is that bottoms never feel pain. Power bottoms never feel pain. And they can take a lot, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever. Like you can still... like you don't get a free reign when fucking a power bottom. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. It's never supposed to hurt. It's never supposed to hurt, but
it can, even if you're a power bottom.
Yeah. Yes. Power bottoms are people too.
Yeah. Power bottoms are only interested in bottoming. And it said that they're into other things like making out, blowjobs, and rimming. I would say that you could be a power bottom and top on occasion too. Like you don't have to only bottom.
I've said this a lot. I used to say it a lot more on this show that like top, bottom, and verse, I think need to be verbs, not nouns, but whatever. Yeah.
You don't have to be but I think for some people it's nice. Like some people like them being nouns. They I really identify with it. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Just like the word gay. I think some people, they're like, it's not my whole personality. I'm other things. And then other people are like, I'm gay. And that's the first thing you need to know about me. And I think both are valid. And then last myth is that size is all that matters. The article talks about how fingers, toys, and tongues are all welcome. And on a one by one basis discuss on Sniffies before you fuck what they're into. I'm not that into fingering or rimming, actually,
or being rimmed or being fingered, or
being either.
You said you kind of like to finger guys before, but
I like doing it to guys.
Yeah.
But like getting fingered, I don't know. I'm just give me that dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's the opposite of what this article is making the argument about. When it comes to the dick, sometimes girth is important. Sometimes it is length, and sometimes it's just knowing how to hit that prostate. So you don't need a 10-inch dick to hit their prostate. You can, in fact, that might be antithetical to the idea of hitting their prostate. Sometimes like that 5-inch dick gets right there.
Yeah. I think of like a 3-inch dick gets there. Like how the prostate's not that deep in there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm leaving a little room for like, to spare.
Creative license.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
it's not too late to vote for poetry for Losers Month, everybody.
I've accepted my fate that, or whoever put it up for a vote, that poetry's not going to win. That's fine. That's what Grindr says about power bottoms.
Wow. I do love a good list of myths, Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Okay. Well, I do. Okay. It actually sort of dovetails nicely. I want to talk about the fact that like the phrase power bottom implies that just bottom is not powerful, right? That it is making a distinction there that like there's bottoms and then there's power bottoms, and that like a regular old bottom is lacking in some category that power bottoms have.
I don't know that the word power in power bottom refers to being powerful.
Okay, what does it refer to?
I think it refers to being assertive or dominant.
Okay.
And I think that's different than being powerful. I think anyone can be powerful, but not everyone is the dominant partner.
Okay. I'm with you. I think that the reason that it makes a convenient punchline is because those things are at odds with each other. And that it isn't as funny or as easy of a punchline if bottoms don't come loaded with a bunch of stereotypes about their passivity, their femininity, their yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the phrase wouldn't have caught on as much if it wasn't what some people would believe, and I don't, is that they're two contrasting terms. I think you're right that the assumption that a bottom is typically weak, submissive, whatever, makes the phrase power bottom stand out all that more, and they're either a bottom or they're a power bottom. Like it's either they're a bottom so they're weak, or you add the adjective power to make it so you negate the weak part and be like no, but they're like really dominant. Yeah. So I get you.
I convinced you, maybe.
No, I still don't think that the implication is that bottoms aren't powerful, because I think bottoms could rule the world if they really banded together instead of focusing on, the next Sabrina Carpenter album or whatever.
Amen to that. I think at the end of the day, all of that is misogyny, right? Like it is just the devaluation of anything that is coded feminine, and the weird obsession, the phallocentric philosophy of especially Western civilization, that what matters is the dick and what the dick is going into.
Yep.
And so this all goes back to ancient Greece. I've talked about this before on the show, but here we go again. But sexual partners were active versus passive. So top versus bottom at the end of the day, but not by the gender of the object choice. So a dude, the ancient Greeks were very much like a hole is a goal.
Yeah.
And if you are a penis haver, go for it. It doesn't matter. As long as you're the one penetrating, what you put your dick into doesn't matter as much. there's a dude named Kenneth Dover. He wrote a book in 1978 called Greek Homosexuality. And he talks about the fact that to be penetrated as a male was subject to public ridicule, right? That like you just didn't do that. That was very demeaning to your status as a man. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So whether it was the Greeks or the Romans, there's also this idea that like it's okay to be penetrated if you are a boy and you're not of age yet, which is very uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean it isn't what was happening historically.
Yeah.
Pederasty was very common in ancient Greece. And the idea it was that like you would bottom until you were old enough, and then you would be exclusively at top. And if you ever bottomed again, that was shameful.
Yeah.
And so again, the ancient Romans did that too. Historian Amy Richland explains that for Romans, quote, to be penetrated was degrading both in a physical sense of invasion, rupture, and contamination, and in a class sense. The penetrated person's body was likened to the body of a slave.
Wow. And I've never thought about this, but I bet you they didn't have good douching practices back then.
No, probably not.
Bet they just kind of shoved it in after whatever. Oh, God.
No lube.
No, yeah, they probably didn't have lube. They're not going to bust out their silicone lube that they got on Amazon.
Right.
Like, oh no. Oh man, to be a bottom in those days was rough in a lot of ways.
Rough in a lot of ways. Let's see. So this also was true in other cultures. We saw this in pre-Meiji Japan, which like there were relationships between dudes that as long as there was an age difference and the younger dude was the one that was bottoming, it was at least ignored, not necessarily sanctioned, but it wasn't that bad. But in Japan, what was interesting is like we have Christianity in Western culture, and it has lots of feelings about gay sex, but the Buddhism and Shintoism don't really care as much. And in fact, Shinto gods sometimes would have dude on dude love in their myths. But then medieval Europe starts really treating it harshly. Pope Gregory III gave penances of 160 days if lesbians did it, but it was a year for male sodomy. And the passive partner, the bottom, would be treated more severely.
Yeah. Which it's interesting because lesbians are often ignored in laws about gay people. They often talk about gay men because, again, we care about where that dick goes. So like, and straight men are attracted to women. So the idea of two women together is hot. So I think they kind of get a pass on a lot of things. But then again, I think that there's a double-edged sword. I think lesbians aren't taken as seriously. I think that's why they're not included in some of the laws, is because they're not treated as on the same level as other relationships. So it's hard to be treated the same, to be taken seriously, to be, fully feel like you have a fully realized relationship in the eyes of society when you're lesbian.
Yeah. Well, and there's this underlying sort of patriarchal undertone that like women are property, and the sin of lesbian sex is less the sex part, but that they are not allowing themselves to be penetrated by a man, and have his babies, whether she wants to or not.
Yeah.
So in the Renaissance in Florence, they created the Office of the Knight in 1432, and specifically to police sodomy. And it's noted that like passive boys, so bottom boys, received minor fines or no punishment. That was okay. So, but the thing that we see over and over and over again, and I talked about it longer than I probably needed to, but there's millennia, thousands of years of to be penetrated is feminine and bad if you're a man, and is unacceptable, especially past a certain age. So it's either like youthful and helpless or feminine. In either case, it is not manly. It is bad. You're not supposed to be taking dick. That is terrible in the eyes of society. So it's all misogyny. It's all patriarchy. But Power Bottom puts that on its head, right? It challenges all of that by saying that receptivity does not equal passivity. That taking a dick does not mean that you are passive. That being penetrated doesn't require that you be out of control, and that you can still be mask while taking it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think of Power Bottoms as mask?
I think they can be.
I think they can be. Sure, I think everyone can be mask, but
I think that I feel like online I see a lot more than I used to. Sort of twunky, hairy, mask presenting beards and all of that. Dudes bottoming like a rock star. I feel like that's fairly recent. I could be making that up. Maybe it's just the algorithm has figured me out and is showing me different things. But like, I feel like that's a thing that like all bottoms used to be twinks for a bajillion years, and that's no longer the case in porn.
I mean, now we have the porn twink tops. So like, we've people like to flip the expectations and like have the younger one be the one that's the top, or the skinnier one be the one that's the top, and not I like that. I'm into that. I'm into when you flip the expectations on its head.
Yeah that's similarly I like the really, really tall bottom. That's fun, especially if you can find like just a little Chihuahua man of a top. Dr. Goldstein, an LGBTQ plus sex expert on Yahoo, explained, quote, bottoming still gets tied up in all these outdated ideas of weakness or submission. The assumption is if you're the one taking it, you must not be in control. But with power bottoms, that couldn't be further from the truth. The whole point is that it flips the narrative. And queer theorists call that resistance within power structures, and taking pride where history demanded shame. And I just think my instinct when I hear the word power bottom is to chuckle. And I think that all of this is why, and I'm going to work on it.
I think that the existence came about and its popularity came, like, you don't hear the same thing of tops. You don't hear like sub top. I don't know. You hear passive top on occasion, but it's definitely not as widespread as power bottom. And I think like the reason it came about is all the things you're saying, but now that that phrase exists, those that use it are not like using it because like, oh, I'm trying to, or they might be, it's not necessarily because they are trying to eschew the like presumption of weakness. Like maybe they just really like the idea of being an assertive bottom and they really identify with this label. So I don't know that like everyone has to take on all the baggage that comes along with the phrase that you described when they use it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Some people may just like it and be like, cool, that describes me. And then go from there and not think about like, why are we using this phrase in society and why is this popular and all that shit.
Yeah. It's not their job to change that, millennia of stigma. And our very existence is political, Kyle. That's how the world is.
But so then, I mean, would you communicate if you were a power bottom and wanted to communicate that to someone, would you communicate it in a different way, or what would you do differently or recommend that people do differently, if anything? We need like an invasion force of power bottoms that go to like Christian conferences and fuck them until they are like less evil. So you want all the bottoms to congregate in places where Republican conventions are happening, get on Grindr, fuck the ones that get on Grindr until they submit to our wills and demands.
Aggressively fuck them.
Aggressive. Yes. Oh, of course.
Dominate the shit out of them with your hole.
Yep. Work your hole until they change the law.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
What you got, Kyle?
Well, I'm really glad that you like Dr. Evan Goldstein because I have a bunch of quotes from him.
Great. Excellent.
A 2025 Pride.com article called Common Power Bottom Myths You Probably Believe, explained by an LGBTQ plus sex expert by Andrew J. Stillman, had a lot of quotes from Dr. Evan Goldstein, who they described as the leading anal health expert in the United States. First one that I will read to you is he said, for some, it's all about sexual stamina and expertise. There's no such thing as too deep, too fast, too hard, or being unapologetically promiscuous. For others, it's about taking charge while being penetrated. In other words, just because you're the bottom doesn't mean you have to let the top dictate the session. The beauty is that it's fluid and each person shapes what the term means for themselves. Mm-hmm. Which I do think there's a lot of meanings. Like, I think being unapologetically promiscuous, it's funny because we haven't talked about that, but I feel like that's might be a myth that comes along with being a power bottom. And I think that myth comes about because some power bottoms are like that, like takes ownership for, but like takes pride in how many people they've slept with and doesn't let people shame them for that. And I think that can be an aspect to power bottoms, but not all power bottoms.
Maybe we just know the bottoming is work. And if you're going to rise to the level of power bottom, you've got to practice. Practice makes perfect, Kyle.
Yeah. Practice makes power bottoms.
Well,
the next quote from Dr. Evan Goldstein is, the whole point is that it flips the narrative. It's about saying, I know what gets me off and I'm going to drive this in a way that ensures that. Setting the pace, choosing the positions, controlling the rhythm, that's all incredibly empowering. Openly communicating with your partner about what feels good and what doesn't should dial up the heat, not kill the mood. And honestly, it's hot as fuck. Which it's interesting that comes along in the discussion of power bottoms, because I think that everyone should do that in their sex life with their partners, in their relationship, and you don't have to be a power bottom to do that. Maybe you're more likely to do that as a power bottom because you're more comfortable. Maybe giving yourself that label then makes you feel more confident in saying the things you want and don't want, which I think is great. But I think everyone should feel comfortable being in charge, like feeling like they are, at least 50% of the sex that's happening, like responsible for it. If you want to be like, have an equal say in what's going on, how it's going on, and be in control of your sex life like that.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting because like, if you're tying that to being a power bottom, like I think that like there's a lot of bottoms, and myself included, when I'm doing that like, I get wrapped up into like pleasing the top. Like it's the top's pleasure that matters. And if I get off, then great. If I don't, then, I don't know. It's, if just like advocating for yourself in a sexually healthy way so that you have pleasure too, it makes you a power bottom, then okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is I think everyone should feel empowered to do that, not just power bottoms. And maybe power bottom helps give you a license to do some of those things that you might not be comfortable doing otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
Another quote, you can be femme and a power bottom. You can be mask and a power bottom. You can role play weakness and still be running the entire show. None of those things cancel each other out. Labels like weak or femme get thrown around as if they're insults, when in reality, they're just different ways of expressing yourself. And sometimes that means power. And the best part is that these can evolve depending on your partner, the scene, or honestly, even your mood. You might want slow, sensual sex one night and rough role-playing sex another. Don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Which I think this is kind of saying at the end was saying what you were saying, that they should be verbs and not nouns. you may want different things. You don't have to be a power bottom and be exclusively a power bottom. You don't have to, you can change up your Sniffies profile. You don't have to be a power bottom permanently. You can log in, change your profile to what you're looking for that night. And that could be power bottom or maybe not.
Yeah. I love that. Which hat are you going to wear tonight? Mm-hmm. It's my power bottom hat.
Yep.
Shut up and give it to me.
Yeah. Let me tell you how. Lastly, quote, the roots are definitely in gay culture, but like most sexual language, it's expanding. The concept of being the receptive partner while calling the shots doesn't belong to gay men. And I think this was talking about the idea that this is just for use within gay culture. How do you feel about people outside of gay culture using power bottom?
I don't know. They probably should.
They probably should.
Yeah, like straight guys, if you like getting pegged and you want to be the power bottom in your otherwise straight relationship, I think I support that. And I know the lesbians use top and bottom also. We've heard that from our lesbian friends. And so I'm sure there's lesbian power bottoms, and yeah, I think I'm okay with it. You're not okay with it?
No, I think it's a common argument, or an argument could be made of it's gay culture's language and don't steal from us and take our language. But I think language evolves and we're not in control of words. Like once words are out there, like we don't have control of then who takes them and uses them. That's not to say that everyone's allowed every word, but if that phrase starts to describe straight people, I think that's okay. I think just understanding that its roots are in gay culture, you didn't come up with that. I don't know, that maybe that's useful. We get a lot of terms from black and drag culture. So it's important to remember that as we use terms. And you hopefully, I don't know if this is too much, you then need to do the work of understanding that culture and being supportive of the community and do so socially and politically. If you're going to use those words. So don't use our words and then vote for a Republican. I think if you start to use our words, you owe us a little bit.
You don't get Chapel Roan.
You don't get Chapel Roan. She's not for you. You can't have her. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
What more do you have?
I was going to talk about some media stuff, Kyle. So I talked about what is called the single most significant moment for the phrase power bottom was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It was on FX. This was season 3, episode 7, called "The Gang Sells Out," and the dude characters, Dennis, Mac, and Frank. Even though Mac is gay later or whatever, at that stage, none of that had happened, I don't think. But they have this extended conversation about gay terminology. Dennis, oh wait, let me go back to this thing. So, Frank, that's Danny DeVito, yeah?
Yeah.
Says, you don't look like a gay guy. And Dennis says, that's because he's a bear. He's a bear. You see, some gay guys are twinks and others are bears. This gay guy's a bear. By the way, we're totally cool with that, to each his own. And Frank says, wait, I'm a little confused here. What's a twink? And Dennis says, a twink is small and slender like Mac. And Mac says, oh no, I'm too muscular. I would be a bear. Dennis says, no, I don't think so, bro. You're not hairy enough. Frank says, smooth. Now I would be a bear. Dennis says, no, see, I don't think you'd be a bear either. As a matter of fact, I don't know what you'd be. You're definitely not a twink. And Frank says, well, I'd be a top, that's for sure. Max says, can a twink be a top, or is that reserved for bears? And Dennis says, and here's where we go into power bottom territory. Dennis says, I'm sure there's a great deal of switching back and forth, but I think more often than not, bears are tops unless they happen to be power bottoms. Frank says, what's a power bottom? Mac says, a power bottom is a bottom that is capable of receiving an enormous amount of power. And Dennis says, actually, Mac, you've got it backwards. You see, the power bottom is actually generating the power by doing most of the work. And Frank says, does power have to do with size or strength of the bottom? Mac says, now, Dennis, I heard speed has something to do with it. And Dennis says, speed has everything to do with it. You see, the speed of the bottom informs the top how much pressure he's supposed to apply. Speed's the name of the game. And just this, like back in 2007, for this crew of like mostly straight coded dudes to have this conversation about gay terminology really stuck out. And it was a pretty mainstream show. So now all of a sudden you had straight culture talking about, thinking about power bottom.
And they weren't shitting on any of it. Like none of that was a jab at the gay community. They were trying to understand where they might fit within the gay community, like with the labels and everything. But they weren't saying that any of it was bad or judging any of it, or like the butt of the joke was not on power bottoms at all. I think they did kind of do the thing of like, the fact that they're straight dudes knowing gay terminology, that's kind of the joke, which they get away with and we couldn't. So like, I think they're relying on that part of it, but maybe, 15 years ago, maybe that it was funny that they knew those words.
Well, and I love when Mac says that a power bottom is a bottom that is capable of receiving an enormous amount of power, because there's also this stereotype that a power bottom has to be a size queen and has to receive an enormous amount of power, right?
Yeah, yep.
And that's not necessarily true, or that's not what it's about. But that is in this dialogue where at least Mac went.
Yeah, yeah.
In season 1, episode 4 of American Horror Story, they said power bottom. Patrick said, "quote, you know what else? He's a power bottom. He loves it," when referring to his trainer. But that show is a drama. It's not a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But this outline is at least trying to make the claim that in those 4 years from Always Sunny to American Horror Story, it had gotten out there enough that serious television drama context was using the term. We have to talk about Troye Sivan. He got a reputation as a power bottom because of the song Bloom that came out in May of 2018.
I don't know this song. Is that my Straightest?
Maybe.
Do you know this song?
I have it. Yeah, it's on my Spotify.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be on the Gayish Spotify soon. Great.
Excellent. It's from his second studio album. It has lyrics like, quote, I bloom just for you. And, quote, promise me you'll hold my hand if I get scared now. Might tell you to take a second, baby, slow it down. And Days Magazine asked him if it was a gay anthem for bottoms. And he responded with a wink. It's 100% about flowers. That's all it is. Adam Lambert chimed in and said, quote, I love that he's being so brave and cheeky and being in the media like this is a song, an anthem for bottoms. Pitchfork said it was quite possibly an anthem dedicated to first-time bottoms. And apparently lots of mainstream outlets, including the Today Show and Ellen, talked about bottoming when covering this song.
Wow, he really started a national conversation that I just missed out on because the only song I know of Troye Sivan's is Rush.
Yeah, well, so this song started a national conversation about bottoms, but we also could not help but then add the word power to the front of it. So like he started getting asked on a regular basis if he was a power bottom or like known power bottom Troye Sivan, blah, blah, blah. And he in 2023 was on Emily Ratajkowski's High Low podcast, said that he wants to clear up that he's not actually some crazy power bottom, that the song had created assumptions about his personal identity. And it got to the point where he felt the need to distance himself from that term.
Well, the lyrics you read to me don't scream power bottom. Like, if I need you to take it slower, I'll let you know. Or like, I'll bloom just for you. Like, none of that is like, fuck me raw harder, daddy. Like, you know, yeah. So it makes sense to me.
Well, and I wonder if that's just because it's this like bottom means you're not powerful, but he obviously is because he has a successful music career. So let's beef it up so that we can talk about it without being offensive by calling him a power bottom. But that's ultimately more offensive if you really pick it apart, because it's saying that just being a regular old bottom is something that needs correcting. Like,
to me, I suspect that it's funnier to ask someone, are you a power bottom, than it is to ask if they're a bottom. And to be funny in an interview question then helps you have the conversation without coming. If you just say, are you a bottom? That's just like a black and white. Like there's no joke to that. There's no humor. There's just like, it's just asking about someone's personal sex life, which is uncomfortable. But to be like, are you a power bottom, makes it into a little bit of a joke and opens up the door to that conversation.
Yep. Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. Do I think you're right?
The way you said it doesn't imply that you really believe that. But
well, see, it does seem weirdly less offensive to ask somebody if they're a power bottom. Like that is like mitigates, because if you just said, hey, are you a bottom? I feel like that would be a more offensive question.
I think
like asking somebody if they're a power bottom somehow is less sexual.
Which I think is because it's funnier.
Okay.
And I think asking if someone's a bottom, the only reason that's offensive is similar. It's either because you have a lot of stereotypes wrapped up in bottoming, including weakness and femininity and all that stuff, or it's offensive because like just asking someone if they're a top is also offensive because like don't ask someone about their sex life who you don't really know. And people feel compelled to ask gay people who's the top and the bottom in relationships because they want to know and they're curious, because they presume that we already know who's the top and the bottom in the straight relationships, and they know these terms, so they feel empowered to ask it when it's none of their fucking business.
It is none of your fucking business, that's for sure. Everyone, yeah. Let's see what else. I don't like any of these. Medium had an article about Confessions of a Power Bottom by Dr. TJ West. Men's Health ran an educational explainer in July of 2021, quoting adult performer Richard JMV, quote, a power bottom isn't as easy to describe unless you're talking about energy. There's an energy you can always see and feel from a power bottom's presence. New York Magazine had an article, Who's on Top by Amy Sohn in June of 2003, featuring early mainstream discussion with quotes like, quote, a power bottom is somebody who can take it pretty easily and likes it a lot. TikTok has a bunch of content about bottoms and bottoming and like discussions of what a power bottom is. There's the power bottom comedy show. That's the actual name of a comedy show.
Wow. I had to look. Sorry, I was looking up whether we knew Richard JMV, but the person we know is the only JMV on Instagram. So follow them. They're hot and do a lot of cool stuff. But anyway, not, I think, different person.
Well, I guess that's all. That's like all of this is recent, right? It's 2000s and on, which sort of lends credence to the fact that like it's a newer term. But like the smoking gun seems to be It's Always Sunny. Thanks, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for making power bottom a phrase. And
wow,
I didn't know that was one of your claims to fame.
Wow, good for them. I mean, sometimes it takes straight people to make a term popular enough to help gay people. Like, I feel like that then helps. The more popular it gets, the more gay people know to use it and can feel connected to it and put it in their profile. And that's useful. So thanks, Sonny.
Thanks, Sonny.
Yeah.
You haven't asked Reddit.
I think I will talk about some of the questions in our Patreon segment.
Oh, okay. It's a twofer.
Yeah, it's a twofer.
So did we do it? Did we power bottom?
I mean, we talked about ourselves up front. Do you have any desire to be more of a power bottom, or are you comfortable with where you're at?
Oh, I don't know, man. I have a puppy. I don't have much of a sex life right now at all. But it could be fun. Like I'm like, yeah, maybe I do. Not as an identity, not as a noun, but as a verb, maybe.
Yeah.
You?
No.
No. You're gonna stick to your non-powerful bottom.
Exactly. Non-power. I need to put that in my profile. Non-power bottom.
Yeah.
Powerless bottom.
Yeah, your acoustic bottom.
Okay, that was funny.
Great. So should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Okay, are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're extra back. We're going to do our gayest and straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, local gay bar review. I'm going to talk to you about Street 66 in Dublin, Ireland. My new favorite gay destination. And it's just, there's been a high number of dildos given out in the city of Dublin, Kyle.
Wow. Okay, let's hear it.
This is a new one, or at least it was this trip. It was adorable. It's kitschy, eclectic, very queer. There's tons of people there on a Wednesday. They were Irish, so they were super friendly. I was not the oldest person there. It was good music. There were places where it was quiet enough to talk. It was low lighting, but I could still see. There was a fun drag show, karaoke drag kind of a thing going on. She had a backup dancer. It was solid. I'm here for it. 3.5 dildos.
Okay, if you gave it anything less than 3.5, I was going to bully you into giving it more. But that's a good. Although I don't know, it didn't reach the level of 4.
Are you coercing me now, Kyle?
Yes, I'm J Dubs.
Grabbed
a lot of really good things. You only had good things to say about it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Okay, 4 dildos.
Yeah, I did it.
Well, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We're on social media at Gayish Podcast, or you can find our Facebook group where you can vote on Losers Month or the Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Awards or find our Discord at gayishpodcast.com/contact.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address, where it is not too late to send Christmas presents, is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Vote in the Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Awards.
Yeah.
You can still vote in Losers Month too until tomorrow.
Yep.
So do that.
We're closing it on Friday. Yep. Do that first. And then vote for the Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Award. I'm going to briefly read the nominees. I think that the slate has been closed because by the time this airs, I have to post it, right? Yeah.
There might be more than this, because I'm going to look in some places and check Derek's work, but he's been pretty diligent. Our 2025 nominees for Dickbag Fuckface Asshole of the Year are, in order that they were nominated, Steve Scalise, Mark Zuckerberg, Virginia Secretary Doug Collins, George Santos, Carolyn Leavitt, the White House press secretary, J.K. Rowling, Kim Davis, George Santos again,
and you specifically said Adam again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as of today, Danielle Smith, the premier of the province of Alberta. Quite
the lineup.
Be sure to vote. Also, we will probably be giving away our first Lifetime Achievement Award in Dickbag Fuckface Assholery. Kyle and I, we have some nerdering to do to figure it out.
Yep, for sure.
Oh God, is it time for our Gayest and Straightest finally?
Yeah, let's do our Gayest and Straightest.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
The straightest thing about me this week, I just ate a donut.
Gays don't eat donuts.
Gays don't eat donuts.
That's especially too many calories.
Just like randomly on a whim.
Yeah.
On their way to get a beer. So I ate a donut. And then the gayest thing about me this week was we were at the D&D retreat this weekend, and we had an outing to a brewery / oyster farm called Hama Hama. So Austin and I took our dog Zucchini and we put on her adorable little blue jacket. We were accessorizing our dog, and every single person we made absolutely certain knew that was our dog. We're together. We are gay. That's our adorable dog in that adorable jacket.
Yeah. Yep. There's no mistaking. It's the gays that own that cute dog in that cute outfit.
How about you, Kyle?
For me, my gayest is I was buying alcohol for that D&D weekend get together that we just had and just got back from. And when I was looking for Truly to buy, I could only find Truly fruit punch. It was like fruit, like these tropical fruit flavors of Truly, which I didn't want. I wanted regular Truly. So like it made me see, I think Truly is already a little gay, but like the fruit punch variation of Truly is pretty gay.
Yeah. I mean, it has fruit right in the name.
It has fruit right in the name. It's right there. My straightest is I didn't shower all weekend.
Yeah.
I did shower.
That's what D&D retreats for, Kyle.
That's true. I showered this morning before work, so you're welcome, everybody.
Did we do it?
Should we do listeners' Gayest and Straightest?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Hello, Mike and Kyle. This is Rob from Ohio. My husband Jeff suggested I call with my Gayest and Straightest this week because they both stem from the same situation. On Thursday, I was wearing a purple shirt for Anti-Bullying LGBTQ Youth Spirit Day, and that's part of my Gayest. That night, I was eating yogurt while watching TV, and I spilled some of the yogurt down the front of my shirt. My Straightest is that the next morning before breakfast, I put on the same yogurt-stained shirt, which I found also had some chili on the collar from dinner. My other Gayest is that the second my husband saw me, he said it looked like I had spooge stains all up my shirt. Thanks for all you do, and love the show.
I feel like it's not just yogurt. It's not just yogurt. It's like
what did the chili look like then?
Right. Yeah. Uh-oh.
You got to wonder.
And thanks for not bullying LGBTQ youth. That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's great too.
That's it. If you want your Gayest and Straightest to be played at this part of the show, send it to us. That's all.
Yeah, do it. We have a bunch in the queue, so we might take a moment to get to yours, but we will eventually.
Great. Thank you to everybody who is a power bottom, and thank you to everybody who has bent to their will.
Exactly. And thank you to the following power bottoms. Thank you to Locomotive, Simon Srirachi, Kaylee Adams, Kit Oliver, Kobe Gordon, Squoggle, Andrew Bugby, William Bryant, John Crowley, Stephen Porch, Yost Osel, Jonathan Montanius, Forrest Nell, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Michael Covington, Thomas B, Dusty Sands, A. Coleman, Chris Cacciatorians, and Jerome York. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your money. That's it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cacciatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See ya.
See you next week, losers. For a loser, we're going to do a loser next week.
Loser month.
Yeah.
It smells like pee. Did my dog, is this because my dog peed earlier or because he peed again? I don't see any pee. Okay. Anyway,
you have an elderly dog. I have a puppy. Pee is our life.
There's pee everywhere. Between the two of them, whose pee is that? It's hard to tell.